Yo, what's going on YouTube? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another gameplay review video. If you guys have never seen this series, this is where you viewers can submit footage and I watch them over and basically talk about the things that could be done better and talk about the things that, you know, went well, and I basically just review the game and talk about, you know, what went good and what went wrong. In this video, we have a Twins player, and this was submitted on my Discord, which, by the way you do this is you submit the videos on Discord. If you guys are interested in this yourselves, be sure to check out my Discord. There's a whole channel for it, but make sure you check the pinned messages in the channel before submitting. We have rules for this, so make sure to check out the rules. But anyway, this was left with a message. This person is a Twins main, apparently. It says, Twins main, rank 4 with like 150 hours, just got demolished by a group of rank 1 to 2 Twitch streamers. I feel like I easily smash anyone above rank 5 or up, but always lose really bad to good survivors. Would appreciate any tips to get to the next level. So that's what's going on with this video. Let's just hop right in and talk about it. Let's just get right in there. I'm gonna start out immediately with your build. We always start out talking about the build. So right off the bat, let me figure out what these add-ons are real quick. Okay, these add-ons are kind of weird. They don't really have much synergy. The yellow one is the one where Victor's shrieks stop whenever he fully charges his pounce, which is kind of an interesting add-on. And then the gray one is slightly increased shriek range for Victor, which is kind of like it's kind of like one of those like it hurts you and it helps you thing, because I feel like a big strength of Victor is how stealthy he is, how he can kind of run up on somebody and they don't even realize until he's right on top of them. So making his shrieks bigger kind of like makes that a little bit harder. But also if you use him for tracking, like if you set him down somewhere and then switch back to Charlotte, he has like a tracking thing where anybody that gets within his shriek radius can be like seen with killer instinct. So that definitely helps out that aspect, but I feel like that's a lot less of the powerful aspect of this killer, so I don't really like that add-on too much. They don't really combo very well. These kind of just feel like you throw on 2 random add-ons just for the sake of having on add-ons, so not really much to say about that. It's not amazing. Your build is you're running this is actually a pretty solid build. Sloppy Butcher is, in my opinion, probably the best perk on this killer. I think keeping people injured is like the most valuable thing you can do, because that way you can snowball with your little shit Victor. And also you're running pop oppression surveillance, which is a great build. I actually did a video on this build recently, and it's actually a very great set of perks. You basically have constant regression with pop as long as you're downing people. Like you know, when you kick the gen, you get oppression, which like hits multiple gens, then that puts them under surveillance, which helps you track. This kind of gives you like a ton of regression as well as tracking all built into these 3 perks. It's actually pretty good. This is a really solid build, but it kind of relies on you to also do well. Like if you're not getting downs very quickly, then they might just get all the gens done, which I'm afraid is probably what's going to happen this game. But hey, we'll see. Let's just start out and let's see how the game goes. So we spawn right up right away, and you're on Thompson House. So you're gonna walk around. You don't really have anything to help you find people right away, but I don't think that's gonna be that big of a deal. The audio in this sounds very weird. I don't know why. It feels like it's like all coming out of one ear or something. I can't tell exactly what's wrong with the audio, but it feels very, very odd. You find a Yui. You're gonna change. She gets greedy and doesn't throw the pallet. That's good. You're gonna get a free hit here, and you take your free hit. Okay. That's really smart of you to wait for the hit. Yeah, and then unbinding Victor. You're already doing great. You're already doing great. You already seem like you generally know what you're doing, which I would expect, because you called yourself a Twins main. You follow the blood, get the down. That's perfect. I would even run back to that gen. I was gonna say there was a gen right behind you. I would even run right back to it, but this is okay too. This is also okay. Don't kick this. No, this is not worth the time, I don't think. Oh, okay. That was a good switchback. That was a very good switchback. I gotta say, I don't think kicking this gen is worth the time. Like, I know you have oppression, but you're about to get Pop Goes the Weasel if you go hook that guy. So I feel like you should just go hook that guy instead. I mean, I guess you can say hypothetically, if you kicked it sooner, you maybe could have stopped that first gen from getting done. But I don't think taking the time to kick this gen. Again, a big thing that people need to realize is that like snowballing is important, right? Like you just down this guy, right? Like he's downed. Now you have like a limited amount of time before they help this guy and get back on their feet. If you can start getting more hits and applying more pressure before this guy gets up, that's huge. But you like wasting time to go kick a gen that's at like 5%, kind of just gives them more time to like finish what they're doing, which they do. They like finish the gen they're working on, and then they even come over for the save and start to heal the guy. So I don't like this. Like, this gen wasn't even 5%. That was like literally 2%. Like, that thing was barely worked on at all. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You switch back at like the perfect time to deny this Yui kicking, and then you jump on her, which is great. That you played that phenomenally. You got to go get that hook though, because that guy is like fully recovered. He might even get up if he has unbreakable. We'll see though. You did take a while, but you're getting him. You're getting him. Good, good, good. You're gonna pick him up, and you're gonna get Pop Goes the Weasel. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I mean, they were just there with flashlights. There's not really much to say about that. Not like now that you know they're going for flashlights, you can know to watch out for it and counterplay it. I didn't really know these guys had flashlights in the lobby, so I couldn't really say. Oh, you're gonna get kicked. Yeah, that's unfortunate. All I can say there is that you kind of need to be patient with Victor. Like, Victor is a very, like, this is a really risky jump to go for. Like, even if he didn't have Dead Hard, this is kind of a risky pounce. Victor is he's very punishing if you miss. Like, if you miss with Victor and get kicked, it's very punishing. It boots you back to Charlotte. You got to wait like 6 seconds. I mean, I know he respawns pretty quickly, but still, you got to wait 6 seconds, and then you got to run Victor the whole way back. Like, him kicking you here essentially means that this chase is over, right? And it is. You definitely should have waited there. It's pretty safe to assume that almost every survivor is going to have Dead Hard. Unless you see them use Sprint Burst or something, it's pretty safe to assume that every single survivor is going to have Dead Hard. See, and now you have nothing. Now you have no chase. Now you're wandering around doing nothing. Ooh, you find somebody, though. That's really good. That's really good. This is really good. You can even bust out Victor on this dude. You probably should. You should probably bust out Victor on this dude. He's at Shack. He's at a pretty strong area, but never mind. You just down him. You down him and you don't give a fuck. There's somebody with a flashlight. No. Okay, they didn't have a flashlight. Whew, you definitely could have got flashlight saved right there. I don't know how many people have flashlights this game. I know this guy got the flashlight save on you earlier, I think. But just FYI, I don't know how many people have flashlights, but you can hear this guy. Like, here, I'll crank up the volume. You can hear this guy outside running around. You should have slugged this guy no matter what. Listen, listen, listen. You hear that? You hear all that pitter patter of footsteps outside? That's this Claudette. That's this Claudette right here. You really got to be careful with that shit. If she had a flashlight, you are 100% getting flashlight saved on here. Like, I don't know how many other people have flashlights. Like, maybe this was the only guy that had a flashlight, and maybe you knew that. And I don't know, because I didn't see the lobby, so I really don't know. But that's definitely kind of risky. But also, I want to say that if you do hear somebody like that when you're standing over a down survivor, go get a hit on him. Like, literally just go smack him. You don't need to necessarily commit to a chase on him, but dude, like, you have Sloppy Butcher, man. You have Sloppy Butcher. So if you take the time to even just go hit this guy once before picking him up, that's really good value, because that makes him injured, which means after you hook this guy, you can then use Victor to down him, and then also maybe find the other guy and down him. That kind of really helps with like your future snowballing. So maybe you just kind of didn't hear it, you know? I don't know. It's hard to say. You might have just not heard it, and you might just, I don't know. It might have been one of those unlucky things. By the way, you're going to get this hook. That gen right there is being worked on, so you can get some pop value. Someone was actively working on it. This is really, I like that you went for this. You swung way too early, but I like that you, what are you doing? What are you swinging at? Okay, you should probably go kick it now. You should probably go kick it now. Oh, man. I feel like your head was in the right place there, but you kind of just went about it wrong. Okay, I will tell you a big mistake that I see people making is exactly the mistake that you avoided here. A big mistake I see people making all the time is they have Pop Goes Louise up, and they come up to somebody working on a generator, and like the person is really close, like as close as this Claudette is, and they're like, well, let me kick the gen first, and then they kick the gen, and then this guy ends up getting like a ton of distance. Like, you can get value out of this guy being this close. Unfortunately, you didn't get value because you ended up playing it really bad. But if you didn't play it so bad, you could have either gotten a hit or at least gotten this pallet down. Unfortunately, like, you're nowhere near close enough to hit this guy. I don't know why you swing here. You're nowhere near close enough. So you swing early. This dude doesn't throw the pallet, and then he also makes the vault, which is unfortunate. And then, like, you could have either gotten a hit or at least gotten that pallet. That's a really strong pallet that you could have broken, but you kind of just throw that away, which sucks. So, I don't know. Even though it was a good decision to not kick that gen right away, you ended up fucking it up afterwards, which is kind of a bummer. And then you come back here, and Then you're like, oh shit, my pop goes Louisa. Oh no, I gotta use this. And then you do use it. They blow up the skill check on the upstairs gen, so you know they're up there. They're already working on this one again. Claudette isn't injured, so I don't really like this play. Oh, and you're gonna get kicked. Oh, I don't like that play at all, dude. I don't like that play at all. She's gonna go back to cow tree. She just has this cow tree all day that she can use. Moonwalk it, moonwalk it, moonwalk it. You gotta try to make a play there, man. You gotta try to make a play there. Like, you can't just hold W and expect things to get done. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to talk about. So first off, I think it was a bad decision to, where are we? I think it was a bad decision to send Victor after this guy. Like, first off, it was a really bad decision to send Victor after this guy because he was full health. Like, even if you hit this guy with Victor, he's just going to run to cow tree and you're going to have to run him down anyway. I would have just, like, ran back to this gen and just got an M1 hit. Like, he's literally right here. He's literally right fucking there. Like, you could even start running towards cow tree because you know that's immediately where he's going to go. Like, this dude is doing nothing but working on this gen, and then the second he's in danger, he runs to cow tree, right? Like, that's this guy's whole plan. So you can even start running towards cow tree and cut him off and then get a free hit, which would then apply sloppy, which you can then follow up with Victor. But instead, you, like, just send Victor right away. And it's like, why? Like, even if you latch onto this guy with Victor, it's not really that worth it because then he just runs away. You don't have Victor because he's latched onto this guy. I mean, on top of that, you miss anyway, which I'm not going to really talk too much about you missing. But yeah. And even here, like you can actually get hits here. If you walk up to like maybe right here and then start moonwalking back, like maybe even this is too far, but if you show your red light, like if you show your red light here, if you're like ooga booga 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 and you show your red light around this corner, like the survivor is right here. And she is looking this way. Like her eyes are this way. And she's like trying to see what you're doing. So if you're showing your red light here, she's going to see your red light and then she's going to vault that window, right? So you can moonwalk here and go back around and get a hit. I don't ever see people do this enough. I don't know why. The amount of hits that I get at cow tree doing this moonwalk, it's insane. Like when I play killer, I get hits here all the time. But I tell you what won't get you a hit against a decent survivor is this. Holding W. Just holding W and just trying to smack like whenever they clearly have enough distance. Like that's never going to work for you. Ever. That will never, ever work for you. Like you got to at least try something. You know what I mean? So that Claudette is just kind of giving you the dickens. Like that dude is just wasting all your time. Like literally just wasting it all. Like they have so much untouched. Like there's so many survivors over here that are just untouched doing generators. You decide to leave her alone and come up and mess with the guys working on this gen up here. They probably just no, you were doing so well. No, what are you doing? You were doing so well. Oh, this is a really bad play. This is a horrible time to use Victor. Man, you were doing so well for a while there. I don't know if maybe you just got tilted or like if maybe you doing well was just like dumb luck, but well, you get kind of lucky that you do find the injured survivor, and then they also fail to kick you somehow. I don't know why or how they failed to kick you. And then you miss, and she doesn't get the kick. You latch on, but they're so far away now that they're going to pick them up by the time you get there. And there's somebody here because they just worked on this gen. All right, let me back up and talk about this. This is really bad. Like I don't know. There's a lot that's bad about this. Let me just go ahead and talk about it. So you come up to work on this gen. You know somebody was working on this gen, right? The most common thing that people will try to do, it's not guaranteed, but the most like if somebody is on this gen, right? If there's a survivor on this gen, they are more than likely going to go to this window right here. They're more than likely going to go to this window, and then as you come out, they're going to slow vault in. That is like, I swear it's like at least 3 out of 4 times that someone's on this gen, that's the move they go for. It's such a common move. People try it all the time, and that might have been what happened to you here. Like they might have did that, and it might have just worked on you. Either that, or they went around the left. So if you know someone's on this gen, like all you really have to do is like walk out, and then come back in and check this window real quick to see if anyone's vaulting it. If they're not vaulting it, then you know that they're off to the left, so you can go chase them and get a free hit. You should have absolutely gotten the hit here. Like you should have found the person and hit them and then tried to down them with Victor. What you shouldn't have done is what you did, which is just walk up, be like, where are they? Who knows? Fuck it. Let's just kick the gen. Because the whole time you're doing this, like, they're able to get away. Like, they're able to, like if he vaulted this window, he's now leaving. If he's over here, he's now leaving. Like, either way, he's now, like, leaving and getting somewhere safe. And then on top of that, I don't know why you're busting out Victor here. Like, there's only one guy that's injured, and you have no idea where he is. Like, you find him, which is really lucky, because he could have been over here. If you find a full health guy, this does nothing. Like, hypothetically, if that injured guy wasn't the dude that you found, if you found somebody that was full health, even if you jump on the full health guy, they're like you're like right here, and they're like over here. Like, you're the whole way across the map. So you're going to jump on this guy, and then you're going to have to run the whole way over with Charlotte. Like, this is not efficient here. This is not efficient at all. This is a really bad time to use Victor. You do get lucky and you do down, like, you do find the injured guy and then you down him, which is good. Like, that wasn't lucky that you downed him. Like, you found him, you aimed well, you got a good dash. That was great. They failed kicking you and they instead worked on the gen. So get fucked, survivors. You ended up missing a dash here. This is tough. I can't tell if your frame rate is bad or if it's just like the YouTube video, but it feels kind of framey. So, like, it's really hard to tell exactly what happened here, but, like, you definitely got to, like, take your time with this, and I can tell you are, but, like, it's tough. I don't really know how to tell people to aim better, dude. Like, I don't really know what advice to give on that. Like, it's definitely good that you're taking your time, and you should take your time with Victor, because, again, if you miss your pounce, it's really punishing, but you are taking your time, you just happen to miss, so... Unfortunate, and then they get the kick, and I'm really curious to see. Well, no, actually, they don't get the kick. You end up getting the pounce. But now I'm curious to know what happens, because again, like the dude that was here came back and worked on the gen, even though he might have even been right beside the gen. Like, he could have been right beside that gen. He might have just been crouching beside it, and you might have just walked right like directly away from him. I think he was. Yeah, I think he was literally just crouching beside the gen. I'm almost positive that's what was going on. Because, like, okay, here's the thing. I got to talk about this, too. I'm sorry that I'm, like, not letting this video play. I know so many people are probably annoyed right now, and I'm sorry. But there's just so much to talk about, dude. Like, you came back from this, right? This gen was regressing. You came back from this. It's no longer regressing. It's no longer regressing. So this dude either walked up and, like, tapped it and then ran the fuck away, or he's literally right on the other side. And I think that he's literally right on the other side. Like, I think he's literally crouching right there. Like, if you would have kicked this gen from this side, I bet you would have seen him crouching there. Because you kick it and then you kind of just walk away. Like, I'm almost sure he's just right there. Either way, like, he's definitely, if he's not there, then he's around the corner somewhere, because he's just going to go right back and work on it, and he did. Which, again, this all could have been prevented if you just found him the first time that you went up there. Like, you basically just, you wasted so much time going up there, kicking that gen, using Victor, and then, like, leaving without ever finding the guy and then letting him finish it. Like, what was the point of all of that? Like, the whole thing was so pointless. Like, instead of actually pressuring the guy that was up there, you just went up there and basically AFK'd to Charlotte while you ran around with Victor, and then never really even looked for him. Oh, that's really unlucky. That was just kind of unlucky. Like this dude got stuck in a corner for like a whole fucking 5 seconds. And then he got, like, he finally got unstuck right when you pounced. It wasn't 5 seconds, but you know what I mean. That was really unlucky. I probably would have ulted at that too. Like, it kind of looked like he was just running into walls, and he kind of was. Like, missing your pounces is huge. I don't really like, I feel like there's no really advice. Moonwalk this. Please moonwalk this. God, you gotta stop holding W there, man. You gotta try something. Like, you need to try something there. But I'm not really sure what to say about, like, your missed pounces. Like, I think that just comes with practice. Like, you really need to just like, feel free to take your time, like, a lot. Like, you don't need to rush at all. Okay. No, get the injured guy, not this guy. You're gonna get kicked. Nope, he's too slow. You shouldn't be going after this guy anyway. Getting the injured guy is a million times better. Do you realize that? Now you're leaving and looking for this guy? All right, good down, good shit. That was good. That was very, very good. You should always be going after the injured guy if possible. Good, yeah, good stuff. I think you even could be taking your time more, but I mean, you landed those 2 pounces, so I can't really say anything. It seems like you're doing pretty good. Man. The flashlights, dude. This is like another. I feel like I need to just link a video. I'm gonna link a video below, and I'll maybe leave a card for it. If I remember while I'm editing, but I'll definitely leave a link for it at least for my flashlight video that talks about how to use flashlights as well as how to counterplay them, because this is like there's really no excuse for getting flashlight saved more than once a game. I feel like the first time you get flashlight saved in a game, you can be like, all right, well, I didn't realize I had flashlights and that they were going for saves, and I was kind of just playing recklessly, you know, whatever. But once you realize they're going for flashlight saves, there's really no reason to fall for this. Like, before you pick anybody up ever, you should be like faking the pickup. Like, you should be like standing over the body, right? Like what you should do is you should just stand over this body for a second and just see if you hear any footsteps, right? Because for a flashlight save, you need to like run up and get set up in advance. So what you can do is you can basically stand over this body while facing this direction, right? Because if anybody's behind you, for them to get a flashlight save, they need to get like a head start and get to the other side of you to get an angle to get a flashlight save, if that makes sense, right? Like, if they hide behind you and they don't get like a running start, they won't have time to get around you and get like the timing right. Like, they need to get a head start before you pick up. So if you stand over top of the survivor while facing this direction, anybody that's behind you going for a flashlight save will 100% run up, and you'll be able to hear them. Like, you'll be able to hear the pitter patter. If there's anybody in front of you, they might not. Like, they might not start running around because they don't really need to reposition. They're already in a good position. But what you can do is you can face this way, fake it for like 2 seconds just to see if you hear anything. If you don't hear anything, then you know that there's nobody behind you, and then you literally just turn around and then pick up facing the other way. Bam. We'll never have to worry about being flashlight saved ever again. You're welcome. You're welcome. If people are going for flashlight saves, follow those 2 easy steps. You'll never get flashlight saved ever again. Or if you're like, if this guy was down to like here instead, you can just face the wall. But I mean, he's not facing the wall. But still, even if you're in the open, you could literally just do that. You'll never get flashlight saved ever again. But instead, you just pick this guy up immediately, and there is a guy there with a flashlight, and he gets the flashlight save. Which that's huge, man. Like, that's so huge. That denies you hook. That denies you mat pressure. That denies you your pop goes the weasel. That just denies you everything. And then not only that, you take the time to kick the gen, which again, I think this is a bad time. Like, I get that you're maybe trying to get surveillance to go off, or like surveillance and oppression or whatever, but there was 2 survivors right on top of you, and you taking the time to kick this gen that's at like 5% just gives them time to run away. So now they're gone, and now you don't have a chase. And there's only 2 gens left, and you don't even have Victor because he's currently on someone's back, and they immediately got back on that gen again. And yeah, I think you're just flustered now. I think at this point, I'm going to assume that you're probably just flustered. Okay, they might even flashlight save that. No, they didn't get the flashlight on that. I don't know what this Claudette. This Claudette was just trying to be fancy, I guess. I don't know. She's like, watch me jump in his locker and make this guy miss. I'm so cool. I'm gonna put this in my montage. And then you killed him, which is pretty cool. So good job there. Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're like keeping an eye on the hook. Are you? What are you? I don't understand. What's the point of that? What was the? What? Why did you just do that? I'm so confused. Okay, so I think what you were trying to do is you were trying to plop out Victor like close to the hook and then switch back to Charlotte to use Victor as like a little radar that tells you if anybody's going for the unhook. But if you don't know, there's like an anti-camping mechanic in the game where basically you can't switch back and forth between the 2 characters near a hooked survivor. I think it's 16 meters. I think it's a like if there's a hook survivor, I think there's a 16-meter radius around the hook where you can't switch characters. And I don't know if you didn't realize that, because it looks like you're like I think you're right now you're like backing up and spamming M2, and you're like, Victor, where are you? Victor, pop out. And then he finally pops out, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you switch back. But like, this is so far away that it's not going to do anything. Like they literally just unhooked. Like, it's so far away that you're just wasting time. There's really no point. If that's something that you want to do, if that's a strategy that you want to go for, and I feel like I shouldn't be telling people this because I feel like this is basically just camping. This is essentially just how to camp 101, and maybe I shouldn't teach people this, but here I am doing it anyway. If you want to do this, like the better way to do it is before you even pick the survivor up to hook them, which I guess you couldn't in this instance because you pulled him out of a locker, but Before you pick a survivor up to hook them, you can plop out Victor, run Victor to the hook, switch back, and then carry the survivor to Victor. That's how you can do it. And then Victor will be up for like, I don't know, like three quarters of his bar. So he'll be up for like 45 seconds, and that'll kind of get the job done, sort of, if that's a route that you want to take. But like what you did here was just wasting time. Like straight up, it was just wasting time. You didn't really do anything. You didn't really accomplish anything. They kind of just run up and kick Victor anyway. This Claudette is she probably has DS. She's very fearless right now. You're gonna follow her around. I think you think she has borrowed time, or maybe you're just getting lost. You gonna hit her? You gonna hit her? Her borrowed time's definitely up. Don't pick her up though. She definitely has DS. Don't pick her up. Do not pick her up. Good, 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 good. Wait. Okay, so you're just gonna... Okay, I think I see what you're doing there. You're putting Victor down so you can kind of keep track of the slug, and if they go to pick her up, you can know, which is kind of interesting. That's a neat little strat. I can get down with that. But now what are you doing? Are you not going to chase that guy? I guess you're going to try to patrol these 3 gens. At this point, I feel like you're in yeah. At this point, you're in like damage control mode. They did end up picking up. Or she just had Unbreakable. No, they ended up picking up. She crawled far enough away that you couldn't see the heartbeat of the other guy, which is pretty unfortunate. And you're just chasing down this Claudette again, which... You really shouldn't be taking this chase. You should just switch to Victor. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, down her. There you go. I would go harass the gens. There is a Claudette over there, but the gens are going to pop like very, very soon. Like they are working on the gens. You need to go work on the gens. You need to go stop the gens. Oh no, not like this. Well, you might be able to... Yeah, I knew that was coming. And she had adrenaline too, which, yeah, that kind of ruins everything. You're gonna jump on her. I mean, you get the jump anyway. You can maybe go hook the Yui that you downed. At this point, the game's basically lost. You can maybe squeeze out like 1 kill, maybe, if you're lucky. But the game is basically over now. You get this dude. We're seeing Discord notifications from you apparently. I love how all your overlay stuff is up. I've been seeing people come online on Steam. I think that was Discord, getting like Discord notifications. Okay, you find this Yui. I don't even know what ended up happening. That first Yui got picked up while you were just like fucking around with this other guy. And now like what are you trying to just defend doors? Because that's not gonna work. You need to get it down, dude. Defending doors isn't gonna do anything. Like what happens if a full health survivor goes over to Victor? Then what are you gonna do? Like you're gonna jump on him and they're just gonna keep opening the door. Like this strategy feels kind of flawed. Like what do you do? What's the plan here? I don't think any plan is gonna work here. Like they can open doors with Victor on their back, or they could just like leave and take him off their back. But either way, like you kind of need to get it down. Like you can't try to like just defend 2 doors against 4 survivors. That's never gonna work. Trying to defend 2 doors versus 4 survivors will never ever work unless the doors are like super lucky and they spawn like right beside each other and you're like, I don't know, hillbilly or something. Then maybe. But I mean, this is looking better. There you go. You got it down. And they're all here with, dude, bust out Victor. This is the perfect time for Victor. Everybody's injured. You can honestly win the game right here. Everybody's injured, dude. Bust out Victor. Why are you not busting out Victor? This is Victor's time to shine, man. This is like his time to shine. They're gonna try to CJ tech you. Well, they didn't really go for the CJ tech. You finally bust out Victor. You should have done this like an hour ago. Don't do that. Don't do that. They're not even on the door. They're all just surrounding the guy that's downed. You bounce off of Charlotte. Charlotte got the dunk, dude. She got the dunk. All right, you get it down. That Yui could have kicked you, but she didn't. So you got kind of lucky there. You're gonna run over and try to stop this door from getting done, which I guess isn't horrible. I would get closer. Okay, I think a big thing that I've noticed that you're doing wrong with Victor, and a big reason why you might be missing your pounds, is that you're trying to pounce from far away. This is like a very similar thing to like I don't know, like huntress hatchets and like demo dashes and stuff like that. Like you're so fast, dude. Like you're like 6.0 meters per second. You're very fast. You don't need to dash from this far away. Like look at how much distance she has on you. She's so far. You can get like right up on top of her and then dash there. That way she has like less time to react. There's like less time for you to go from here to here. Like I know his dash is pretty quick, but still, like instead of like trying to aim it up in advance, you could just get right on top of her and then it'll hit no matter what, you know? Like you're trying to put your aim directly on her when she's kind of far away. And again, like your aim was honestly pretty good. It's just that she was kind of far away. So she turns, and then by the time you travel the distance that it takes to dash, she's already like far away. So if you would get right on top of her, like if you would wait until you were like directly on top of her before you pounce, you would probably land a lot more of these pounces. But you get kicked here. Oh, they have flashlights. This might not be it. I mean, hey, it worked. You kind of just went for it. I would not have just went for that. Like, they all had flashlights, and you were just like, fuck it. I'm picking up and looking right at you. They kind of just failed. Like, I was honestly on them. I don't know what they were trying to do there. You hook this dude. Again, I'd be busting out Victor. You can't use Victor that close to the gate. That's another, like, anti-camp mechanic they added where you can't use Victor. You can't body block gates with Charlotte. That's not a thing. I'm not sure why you're not just using Victor, man. Like, these guys are injured. That's like perfect stuff. Like, a bunch of injured survivors is like the ideal scenario for Victor, man. Like, that is the perfect situation. You could just run around downing all the injured survivors, and the only way that they can stop you is if they kick you after you down somebody, which in that case you still have a down, so like it's okay. All right, like you find this guy, but he's full health, so he can just open the door. I don't know if that guy knows. Like, I think he might be getting lucky. That guy might just not know, but that guy can literally just open the door. Like, he doesn't need to take off Victor. I mean, he needs to take off Victor before he can leave, but he could have opened the door right there if he wanted to. You're gonna chase this guy. I feel like at this point it's a fight for one kill. Like, I feel like at this point it's a fight for one kill. You can maybe get more if you really like slug super hard. And somebody jumped out through hatch. Someone jumped out through hatch, and a couple other people are leaving through the door. Yeah, this dude's gonna leave through hatch too. Damn, that's a bummer of a game. That was a bummer of a game. A lot went wrong there. A lot went wrong there. Like, it's kind of hard to like pinpoint exactly what, because there was honestly a lot. There's an endgame chat that lasts a very long time. Hopefully these guys are wholesome. You asked if they're streaming. They said on both their channels because you want to watch the VOD. Hey, these guys are pretty wholesome though. You love to see it. I love when like good teams of survivors are also wholesome. Time to retire, hang my baby up. Time to hang up the baby and call it quits. That's fucking amazing. I love when like teams of good survivors end up being wholesome though. I like fucking kudos to these guys for that, because very often you'll find teams of survivors that are like good, that after the game they'll like then be shitheads, you know, and be like, lol, get wrecked, baby killer. And it's like, yo, fuck off, man. You know, like, you already won. You don't need to be a dick about it. But these guys seem really chill. That's really cool. You love to see that. You absolutely love to see that. So kudos to those guys. As far as the mistakes, man, like there was a lot. I definitely think that you need to be more in the mentality of like when to use Victor. Like, there's just so many, like, there's so many little instances in this match where you, like, just wasted time doing, like, basically nothing. I feel like you did mention that you had 150 hours. I'm guessing that's 150 hours total? Because it kind of shows here. Like, you might think that 150 hours is a lot, because I feel like in a lot of games, 150 hours might seem like a lot. But in a game like Dead by Daylight, 150 hours really isn't anything, man. Like, it's really nothing. Like, there's so many little things, like, game sense-wise. Like, for instance, this, like I was talking about earlier, where you come up here, and you know that there's only two plays that they can make. They can either go through this window or go over here. And, like, you know there's only two places they can go, but instead you don't check it. Like, this is 100% game sense here. This is something where, like, if you have thousands of hours and you really, like, know this map really well. Like if you've been in the situation that this survivor is in as a survivor player, like a million times, like I can't tell you how many times I've been the survivor player here and there's been a killer running up on me, right? So I know exactly what a survivor would do in this situation. Like it all just comes from game sense. It comes from game knowledge and game sense. So I can't really blame you too hard for this, because I feel like in the grand scheme of things, you're still pretty new. Even though you have 150 hours in your red ranks, you're still relatively new in the grand scheme of things. So I don't really blame you for not knowing this, but this is definitely like times like this were a major fuck up. Like you wasted so much time here, coming up here, kicking this gen, and then just like this play was so confusing. Like instead of finding the person nearby, you use Victor when almost everybody's full health, and you run like the whole way across the map with them. Like, here's the thing, no matter what you do over here, you're gonna have to like come over with Charlotte to follow up on it. Like even if even if you get the best value possible, which you actually do, you literally do get the best value possible. You down the injured guy and then you jump on a full health guy, which is literally the best possible outcome you could have got from this play. Even if you get the best possible value, it's still like no value overall, because this is the whole way across the map. And like by the time you come over here with Charlotte, they're all gonna be healed and picked up, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens, right? Like you come back to Charlotte, you kick the gen, yeah, like the dude's already healed before you can even get back there. Like it was just a huge waste of time. Like what did that accomplish right now? Nothing. Like they picked the dude up, they did the gen, and then they also finished that gen that you were right beside. Like it was so much time there that you could have spent doing something productive, and instead you like, I don't know, just made a very questionable play. So I don't know, like that's the kind of stuff that can throw entire killer games, man. If you take like a whole like minute or 2 minute block out of the match where you just do nothing and apply no pressure, that will lose you the entire game, especially against good survivors like this. Against survivors that like know what they're doing, that like throws the whole game, you know? So like from the time that you leave this guy, like you leave this chase here on Caltree at what, like 3:15-ish, around 3:15-ish. And then like you do all this stuff with Victor, and then by the time like anything else happens, like you can kind of say that you downed somebody and you kind of applied pressure, but again, it was like not great pressure because you weren't even there. Like it takes so long before there's any actual significant pressure again. Like these guys aren't feeling pressure ever, really. You're still running around, like it takes so long. Nothing really happens. Like here is when you finally down somebody again, which is at like 6 minutes, you know? Like, yeah, you got one down, but again, you were so far away. Then even here, you get flashlight saved. I don't know, man. Like the flashlight plays, I think you need to like learn a little bit about flashlights and how to counterplay them, because honest to God, flashlights a lot of the times are free kills. Like people that try to use flashlights too much, if you know how to counterplay flashlights, it's literally free kills. You can like bait them into going for flashlight saves when they shouldn't, and just get free hits, free downs. Like a lot, honestly, as a killer myself who knows how to play against flashlights, I love seeing flashlights. If I go into a lobby and there's 4 flashlights, I jump for joy, dude. I'm like, yes, literally the freest kills of my life, you know? So like learn that, watch the video that's linked below if you need to, or just do what I said earlier in the video where I talked about it. Aside from that, the main thing I can tell you, I guess, would be, first off, don't kick gens that are at like 5%. Like it's never worth kicking a gen that's at like 5% over a chase. As a matter of fact, even a gen that's at like 80%, it's almost never worth kicking a gen over like a potential hit or a potential chase that you might have. Like maybe if you have Pop Goes the Weasel up, but there was a lot of times where you just like stopped to kick gens when you could have been like finding survivors or chasing survivors. And I can't really find any instances right now because this was a pretty long match, but I can't really like, there was multiple times where you kind of like walk up and kick a gen that's at like 5. I think it happened after you got flashlight saved, right? As a matter of fact, I shouldn't have even left. I think it happened right after you got flashlight saved here. Like I'm almost positive you get flashlight saved here, and like again, like there's 2 survivors nearby, right? Like one is like right here and the other one's like right there. Like there's survivors very close to you, and instead of like chasing them, you're like, hey, let's kick this gen that's at 5%, you know? And like, yeah, I guess you can say that you're getting oppression value or whatever, but it just, I don't think it's worth it, because you're basically just giving up the chases. And like, now what? Now you're just wandering around aimlessly. Like again, thank God that this Claudette was like super cocky and got right back on that gen, because then it kind of gave you like a free good chase to take. But had these guys just ran off, you would have just had no chase. You would have just been wandering around doing nothing, you know? I don't think that's a good, valuable use of your time. And I also think you need to know when to use Victor more. It feels like you try to go for a lot of like weird plays with Victor. Like when you hook this guy, for instance, like I don't know what the hell this is. Like you shouldn't worry about this kind of stuff. Like going for like weird plays like this, it's just kind of wasting time. Because again, they end up getting the unhook while you're doing it. Like you're not really accomplishing anything. And like that wouldn't have worked anyway. Like even if they didn't get the unhook at that exact moment, that still wouldn't have worked because you were so far away, you know? And then like it kind of happens at the end too, at the exit gate, where like you like drop Victor off at the exit gate for some reason. And then like, I don't know, it feels like your use of Victor is really weird. I feel like I feel like for now, what you should be doing is you should pretty much only be using Victor to snowball. Like get some people injured, right? Like once you have some people injured, use Victor, and while you're in Victor, try to target the injured survivors, down the injured survivors, and then once either A, all the injured survivors are down, or B, you like just can't find an injured survivor and you can find a full health one, then jump on a full health guy. Like that's 100% the best use of Victor. Like even here at the end, you could have like won, dude. Everybody was injured at one point. There was definitely like right here, you had a guy down and everybody was injured, and you have Victor. You could have won the match right here, and they're like right here too. Like they're literally right here. Like you can bust out Victor and just start taking these guys out one by one, just jumping on them and taking them all the fuck out. Like it feels like the times that you should be using Victor, you're not really using him as much, and then there's times where you shouldn't be using Victor and you are. Like after the hook, as well as like when you were upstairs on that gen. It just feels like you need to know when to use Victor and when not. For now, again, I would stick to just using Victor as like a way to follow up and getting people that are injured. I would not use Victor if you don't know where an injured survivor is. I'll say that much. If you don't actively know where an injured survivor is, I probably wouldn't use Victor. Unless maybe like all 4 of them are injured, you know? But if there's like 1 injured survivor and 3 healthy ones, I wouldn't use Victor. Until you like find the injured survivor, because you want to make sure you get good value out of them. If you're busting out Victor and then just jumping on a full health guy and that's the only thing that you're doing with him, that's not really good value. Whoa, I just randomly got like a crotch shot there. Sorry about that. Monka TOS. Yeah, I think that's really all there is to say. I don't really think I have much else to say. It feels like, honestly, considering you only have 150 hours in the game, like fuck, you're not even Devotion 1 yet. You're not even halfway to Devotion 1 yet. Considering like the amount of hours that you have, I really feel like you're pretty damn good at the game, honestly. Like, I know I've been going on this whole video about like, oh my god, there was so many mistakes and blah, 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 blah. I mean, there was, but that's because these survivors are very good. I mean, the one dude had Legacy, so he probably has like thousands of hours. Like, these guys probably have like combined like 10 times, if not like 20 times your hours, you know what I mean? So considering the mismatch here, it's pretty expected that you would make a lot of mistakes and not do very well. I do think overall you are pretty damn good. I think any team that isn't like a decent team, you're probably going to shit on. Like, you seem to be playing really well. So good job on that. Honestly, I think you're definitely going to go places as a killer player. But yeah, just work on that. Work on your efficiency. Work on snowballing. Like 100% work on snowballing. Like that's 100% what you should be doing with twins is snowballing. Getting a lot of slugs, downing a lot of injured people, and snowballing. And that's about it. Work on your flashlight counterplay too. I'm going in circles now. I'm hitting that point in the video where I'm going in circles, so I'm going to end the video now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned a thing or two from this video. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video about joining Discord and submitting your own footage. Remember to read the pins. We have rules about submissions. Do not submit without reading the rules, please. If you guys like the video, leave the video a like. It helps me a lot with the algorithm. Sub to the channel as well, because I'm uploading literally daily. And also stop by my Twitch stream sometimes. I'm live 6 nights a week from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern. So feel free to stop by and say hello sometime. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out of here. I will see you later. See ya. I'm out of here. See ya. I'll see you later. See ya. I'll see you later. See ya.